I need to tidy up this old pair of Barkers. They've been rather badly stored, and that's why we've got these horrible looking sort of creases and there's some surface cracking. They've been stored without a tree, probably for about a year. This shoe's got a tight tree inserted. It was only fitted about 12 hours ago, but the shape's improved rather well. But we do have this issue of surface cracking, not as catastrophic as you'd think. It's only on the surface. It can easily be dealt with. The first thing we need to do, I'm going to use methylated spirit on cotton wool just to strip any old polish and colour. It will make the skin a little bit dry, but it has the effect of where the skin's cracked. It makes the edges of the cracks sort of turn outwards, and they're easier to catch. It's also I've got these little tiny screwdrivers here. I've got two roughly the right size. I'll need to use the screwdrivers to sort of fish about and get out the polish which is built up in the cracks. So I use a slightly larger one for the large holes and a smaller one for the smaller holes. This all has to come out. Once this shoe's been completely cleaned, I'll just use I've got two pieces here. I've got wet and dry paper or emery, and that's 180 grit. I'll just on the worst of the cracking, just very lightly circular motions, take away the surface, and I'll finish it with a finer paper. That one's 320. That should be adequate as a finish. The shoe will come up pretty smooth. You know, a lot of the worst of this cracking will have disappeared. Any chips and scratches, they will have pretty much blended away, but the colour will be it'll be very fade and very light. That will revive very easily with a shoe cream of a similar colour. You know, 2 or 3 coats of that. You know, I'll buff it, and when it's dry, get a reasonable sheen, and then I'll finally polish the shoes. And they will come up quite well. They're certainly not going to look new. They do have a topi which is starting to peel as well, and they get a lot of use. And they won't look new, but they'll look very beautiful, and the colour will be rich. The cracking will be greatly reduced. You'll be surprised how well these will come up. It's not a massive amount of work, perhaps a couple of hours in total.